Hey everybody, I am back and working in Photopea, and I'm going to go to our third tool, which is the Lasso selection tool. There are three, as you can see, a small little white triangle. There are three types of lassos. I'll go through all three of these, but we're going to start with the regular lasso tool. It is a tool that I use a lot. Um, but also, I'm going to go over this one more time as I did in the actual rectangle ellipse selection. My layers, my dog, again, you can see it has this small little black square. Did it intentionally because we need to rasterize it. It's a smart object. It refers back to some photographs located somewhere else. We don't want that. We want to be able to have the full, uh, um, I guess, palette of things to do with this photograph. So I showed you guys one way was right click on the word dog, and it's right there. But there's also another way. If we go under layers, because it's in the layers, you're going to see that there's rasterize there too. So it's in two places. I like that. Notice I click on it and it's gone. So let's get to our tool. There's a couple things. Up top is the most important thing right now. We have our lasso tool. Let's tell me what the tool is. We have four objects here. If you have taken and gone and seen my Gravidesign uh, videos, you'll notice there is something like this called compound paths. And you're going to see that when I use the first one, I can actually do a selection. Let's go around it. Do, 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 do. Very simple like this. Bring it to the end. I let go. It makes it. If I'm in this first one, it replaces. So if I want to come back here and fine tune something or say come over here, notice I make my shape. It goes away and it goes to my second shape. Let's want to add to it. This one means we're going to add to it. So then notice I make a second shape and it creates a silhouette of the two. I can subtract from it and notice they're self-explanatory. Let's overlap this. Notice I've taken out that chunk. And last but not least, where they overlap, it will stay. And that's how it works. So those are the four. You can see they've done a nice thing. I hover over it. It says intersect. It says unite. It says replace. And then this one says subtract. The little icons themselves tell you what it is, but I'd rather do it for you. Never assume. When I use the regular lasso tool, I usually leave it on unite. And the reason being is when I use my trackpad or my mouse or my Wacom tablet to draw around an object, to select it, I can't do it all in one. I can't unless it's something very, very simple. So what I do is I do things in sections. So I come here and I'll just come up here around the dog's ear. And you got to remember when you're doing something, they don't know what's on the outside of that photograph. So you can trim off a little bit. So when I let go here, I just got the ear done. Boom, I bring it back. Notice that I'll come back around here and I'll just start making some more fine tuning. And I'll just keep going around, bring it back around here. And notice how my unite keeps going. And I just keep following this edge and I slowly build up what I'm looking for that I want selected. So that's where I'm using the unite whatsoever. Now the feather you see next to it, if I put in a number, the higher the number, the more it is. Feather means it's going to soften the edges. And I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this selection, just show you how this works. Say I want to go around this ear and I'm going to use a very high number. I'm going to say 40. It kind of softens the edges. You'll see a little bit more about this later on when we go into masks, but I'll just do it just so I can do it. I could just give you guys an idea. Let's just pop it up here. Let's go to like say, I went to 40. I'm going to go pretty drastic. 34 is fine. I could type in my in there if I wanted to like this, which says 40. And say I'm going to go around my ear. Notice I just, the last thing I did before, and what happens is it kind of softens the edges and the computer kind of gives you what it thinks it is, and I'm telling it to do it. So I come back here, let go. Notice it became a circle. It softened these edges, and that's what it is. So a feathering is more for an effect, and we'll talk about it later, but I wanted to show you what that is. Let's get back to our next tool. Let's deselect that. Our next tool is going to be the polygon lasso tool. That where I use a lot is when I want to extract out a skyline or something that's man-made. It has straight lines. It's a polygon. It's telling you that right then and there. And notice the L tool will have you scroll through it. As you can see, I could do an L and it scrolls through these, as you can see right over here. So we're going to go to my polygon, and that means I can do straight edges and only straight edges. So it's click, I drag, I click, I drag, I click, I drag, and it's nothing but straight edges. They can be angles, but straight edges. And when we're done, I double click fast. As you can see, I can move it and it has just good straight lines, and that's all you need. Okay, so let's go Control Z. Let's hit that back, and let's deselect this. And we'll just come here. It's Control D if you want to. That's up to you. Let me just move this over here a little bit more so you can see the dog a little bit more. The last one is going to be our lasso tool. I'm going to click here and see it. Again, I can use the L button to go through this. It's the magnetic lasso tool. And this is where you're letting the computer make decisions for you. So let's go ahead and show you how it works. Again, it's looking for a definitive color between the two. So the computer's actually going to do it and make that decision. As you can see, I've started here, I keep moving, and it's going to leave little squares. So that's how you know you're in the magnetic tool. But notice how it missed the top of it. I'm going very slow because the computer has to work. Now it's not going to find those small hairs on the dog. And I can go a little bit more, but notice when I come over here in the white, it definitely sees the difference. I'm going to come up here. Let's go up this leg here. Not too bad. And like I say, the effectiveness depends on your picture, what you're doing. And notice it didn't do that part of the ear very well, kind of spread out. And when you're done, you think you're close to where you've started, you just double click fast, and there it is. Notice it did a great job here on the left and on the bottom and around the body, but yet it did a poor job here and up here. And it's just, again, the computer making those decisions. What I would suggest, if you want to use the magnetic tool, I'd come back here then. I go with my lasso tool, and I would start using these up here. So let's go subtract. Come a little closer. Let's get a little closer. We'll do a Control Plus. Move this over. And then notice I'm in I'm in subtract with my lasso tool, and I come back in here and hand draw this, come outside, and notice how I can tweak it. And that's how I would do those things, okay? So those are your three tools. Again, it's your regular lasso, it's the polygon, it is the magnetic. They all use these tools. It all uses these tools up top here where it is there the replace, the unite, the subtract, and the actual intersect. So that's it with the lasso tools and the three types, and we'll pick up with the magic wand and the quick selection tool.